Well, thank you very much for joining us again. It's newspaper review, and it's a full house. Yes, of course. Now we will be diving into the papers. When I say it's a full house, you know it's everybody from the morning show. We still have Daily Fanimo with us and the VOP This Morning crew. There you have it. So, just in case you're tuning in for the first time, I am Moses Humphrey. She's Fina Okechukwu, and he is Chukuma Okoro. All right, and then Daily Fanimo is seated right there, just in case you're just joining us. Now let's dive into the headlines. We were just talking before the cameras came on us. We were talking about Kwam One and the ban that's been placed on him. But let's see. Let's take these headlines from the dailies, and then we'll touch on the particular stories. But Fina, could you please help me with a few of the headlines if you have?
All right,
right there, because I'm struggling to get it. Oh yes, okay. Yes, I have. Right, yes, I have got into the headlines. Now, starting off with the Punch newspaper. These are the headlines on the cover page of the Punch. It reads: 2027 ADC caught in crossfire as Atiku Obi rivalry escalates. Obi camp accuses ADC of marginalization. Party woos level playing field. Party vows level playing field. NCAA moves to prosecute Kwam One after no-fly order. There you have it. Now that's the particular story we were talking about before the camera came on us. Well, you might help me dive into that story if you have it there.
Okay, you're talking about the Kwam One, the NACA story, and okay.
NCAA. NCAA.
What actually happened? What led to it?
Okay, now the thing is this, people have different opinion regarding whatever thing is that happened when it gets to the airport. But airplane is different from what is happening on the ground. We have IATA laws. Okay. We have what the laws actually stipulate. We have we call dangerous goods, and we have non-dangerous goods. You understand? And each year these laws keep on evolving. I have actually played in that sector to tell you that there's a quantity of fluid that an individual can take on board. If you have a certain number of fluid, they say, no, we're not carrying this. You understand? This is a dangerous good. Check it in.
You have to drop it, or you buy, the PET bottles from the airport. Then
now,
if you need to take
apart from
alcohol
that,
or anything.
Reason is because people have tried to use the fluid now to hijack planes. It's happened before now. That's why we make it to be a law. And when it gets to Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, also is where I know the terrain well. Okay. When you're done with the checking, the boarding upstairs, if you're using the local flight now, before you descend to the tarmac, the apron, the farm officials there will tell you to dispose of the fluid you have. Even if you like, it should be a bottled water, you dispose of it. Perfumes are not allowed to be taken on. Food and fluid, other things are not allowed to, because these are against the law, you understand? And then this, from what I got, he wanted to move on board. And I said, no, sir, please, you have to drop this you have. And, it's turned into another thing. You don't tell me that, and they had to alert the plane, or rather the airline which he was going to board. He is the flouter in the law. And every other thing happened to be a story. But I believe also that FAN also sanctioned the pilot of that particular flight for the way he decided to move at the tarmac. We have also a rules and regulation we take, or else the engine of the plane can suck you in. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yes, whenever the plane is there at the tarmac trying to move on an apron to take off and all that, that's when the engines are also revolving, moving on. An individual can be sucked in. So we have people who happen to be at the tarmac to say, this is the place where you can stop. Don't approach this, don't do this, don't do that. And if you're to move beyond the line and the aircraft is short, opening it again, to let people in can also pose as a threat to people who are there already. Okay. And that was actually what happened before. Every other thing, the video people were making, some person will even say something on, on the ground, and let's you board, let's say how you're going to board. And the man running towards the aircraft also endangered his life.
Yes.
Yes,
of course.
All this.
Now, yes, the video. If we have that video, we may just would like for you to put the video up there, where he was seen trying to prevent the aircraft from taking off. He stood in front of the aircraft, I wonder how he felt he would be able to stop the aircraft from moving.
I'm telling you,
by standing in front
Abiola
of
needs
it.
to be alive to see, because Abiola says that nobody can stand in front of a moving train.
Oh.
I will have an individual standing in front of
A moving
A
plane.
plane.
and I want to take off. And all of that.
It is only
Somebody said he's due for Guinness Book of Records
for doing
for being the
that.
first person that
To
will
stop
stand
an airplane.
in the way of a moving aircraft.
I don't think any person who is not under the influence can actually try taking such risks, because that is a great risk.
Apart from being under influence, you know, we have this kind of. I said a bit about it in the morning. The big man syndrome in Nigeria.
Do you know who
Do
I
you
am?
know who I am? I'm one.
Okay.
It
We'll
won't
get,
mean.
we'll get to the big man syndrome, much later. But let's look at what the Punch reports, and especially from the NCAA. We hear that the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) has said that the popular Fuji musician Wasiu Ayinde, also known as Kwam the Ultimate, will be blacklisted from flying within Nigeria for 6 months. And this is, over alleged misconduct at the domestic terminal of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Now, the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection at the NCAA, Michael Achimogu, disclosed that he said that what I must assure the general public is that everybody involved in this will be brought to book. He says, as we speak, the passenger is going to be blacklisted for the next 6 months flying in Nigeria. And he also said we will do everything we can to get to the root of it, and everybody who needs to be punished or sanctioned will receive justice. And then the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, also addressed the press. He said, look, I have instructed that he be blacklisted. Now, that's another aspect of it, because now Nigerians are saying, why are you flexing muscle? As a minister, should you even be seen issuing this order? Should you be seen to say, yes, when it was Adams Oshomole and Airpeace, the minister didn't say anything.
Okay, now the minister didn't say anything. You people complain that he didn't say anything.
That was because
now the minister is saying something. People are complaining. Why
But the thing is, these are two different scenarios. The thing there is
they are not
there
different scenarios.
are two different scenarios. In aerospace,
two similar individuals.
No,
the
not,
big
not,
man syndrome.
not really. I don't really think that
anyway.
should be the thing. If Adams Oshomola had gone in front of the airplane to say you're not leaving until you carry me, he will.
No, but he made a scene in the airport.
No, he didn't get to the airport to do that.
But there are similar cases.
There are similar
Adams
cases.
Oshomole prevented people from boarding. He said, look,
And apparently stopped the aircraft from.
And in the process, he didn't put anybody in harm's way.
Exactly, that's
Well,
another
no, but
thing.
he
He
stopped
didn't.
people.
He
He didn't
didn't.
put them in harm's
And he
way.
didn't.
This person attempted suicide.
Suicide.
and not just himself, his PA as well was seen
You see
standing
how
with
it
him, so he
is?
could have
No,
been.
what I want us to understand is that though the two scenarios might be different,
Yeah.
but the cases
They're
are
similar.
similar
They're
to
similar
me in the
issues,
fact
yes.
that it puts up the big man syndrome that I talked about earlier.
Yes, to the extent of
Absolutely.
the big man syndrome, I agree with
Yes, because if an ordinary person did all of that, they
you.
will
No,
just
but by now maybe it will be in Kirikiri.
they will just whisk him away.
Yes.
And airport
And nobody
security
will
and all
even
of
get
that.
to hear about it.
We'll get to hear about it.
But
Things like this
this
happen
not the
every
first
day.
time. No,
You-
but
no,
I
in the
beg to
airports, they
disagree. I
happen.
beg to disagree. This is not the first time an individual is obstructing boarding in the airport. I have seen situations whereby people want to board, and an aggrieved passenger will come and say, nobody is going to be checked in here, and the person
Now
will.
you have seen, we are talking
You know-
about it making headlines.
Okay, now the thing
This
is,
one is
I
in
think,
all
I
the
think it's
papers.
because of the individual in question.
The big
And
man thing,
Nigerians
the
were
big man
Nigerians were
syndrome that I talked
disappointed.
about.
Nigerians were disappointed that a sitting senator will go on, in a public environment like that to create such a scene. For me, that was what I see that to be, because there are many ways for conflict to be resolved. You have to go in to talk to people, not creating scene because
Like the one this man created because he feels that he's a celebrity.
Oh,
You
yes.
get the point.
Yes, of course. But
It happens even apart from airport, even on the road.
on the road, exactly.
Even in superstores,
Filling
supermarket,
stations.
somebody
Everywhere.
walks in
Everywhere.
the supermarket and he says, give security order. His own security will cordon the entrance to the.
that was what happened at a filling station in Obalinde some months back. I think towards the end of last year there, but I talked about
Yeah,
it
you
here.
talked about it.
Where an individual who was said to be a musician came to purchase fuel, and then his security detail prevented people, but people didn't know who was in the car. And then before you knew it, there was a breakdown of law and order. Somebody kicked off the jerry can of somebody, and somebody else you know, and then before you knew it, gunshots were fired, and somebody died.
Someone died.
Someone died.
Someone died.
An innocent life lost.
And the person died, and then
Precious life lost.
the vehicle zoomed off, and then there was chaos in the area. You know.
Maybe I should try that one day. Play my own big man. Stop everybody from coming into the studio. It's only Chukwu Makoro that is in the studio.
We'll just go.
Then you're going to talk for 5 hours alone and kill to do.
We'll just leave
No,
you.
he's going to be in charge of production for the whole day.
Okay, before we
But
get
let us also
Presenter,
remember,
they will
I think
be
it's
producer.
important for us to remember also that the pilots who also decided to do
they
that
say
reckless
should
driving.
be suspended.
Exactly. But they will do their
She's also
aerospace.
a big man's
But you
sport.
know one thing about the pilots? The pilot might escape.
The pilots cannot escape.
I'll tell you why she can escape.
All right.
If
Is it
there
she?
was no
Is it she?
information
Yes.
from the tower that man had positioned himself in front of that aircraft, because the position he was, there was no
Responsible
way
for her not
anybody
to see.
could sight him
We say him.
from the cockpit.
Yeah.
But
But
she knew he was there.
all the same, another thing again
she
to
knew
look
he
at.
was
That's a very good escape.
Another thing again to look at is this. We have
An alibi.
Very good one.
It's a good one.
the,
actually.
does all the line persons, the protocols involved, did they give her signal to board?
Were they communicating?
Were they
with her?
communicating with
That's
her?
what I'm
Did they
saying.
tell
These
her
are the
that-
questions.
That's what I'm saying.
She'll
now
bring up
let's-
all of this.
Let's
Anyway.
quickly go to the Guardian. Let's go to the Guardian newspaper and let's talk about this one that concerns our women. Yes, we care about our women, and we don't want to spend money on cancer treatment and the rest. And some that have fertility issues. It's not village people. It's not necessarily village people. It might be what you're putting on your body. So, toxic braids. That's how the Guardian tags their big story. And it reads, cancer, fertility risks trail Nigeria's $429 million synthetic hair obsession. Okay, there's a breakdown of it. It's a money-making industry, if you ask me. Hair, wig, and extension market, global forecast, 2025 to 2034. Market statistics, market value 2024, $7.5 billion. Market value 2034, $12.6 billion. What's this? CAGR 2025 to 2034, 5.3%. Country statistics, Nigeria, market size 2024, $1.31 billion. All right? And then there's a write-up here, segment statistics. In 2023, Nigeria imported $429 million worth of synthetic braids, also referred to as fake hair. According to the Observatory of the Economic Complexity, this made Nigeria the second largest importer of fake hair globally. Now, over the years, mounting evidence suggests that chemicals in fake or synthetic hair and sundry hair products marketed to black girls and women, including hair relaxers, contain endocrine disrupting substances linked with reproductive health issues, early menstruation, and cancer. That's the hammer that hits it. Well, we'll go deeper into the story. Fina is chuckling. She's ready to rise to the defense. But before we let her rise to the defense, I'm running, the cockamentary now. Before we let Fina rise to the defense, let's take some more of the stories here. Okay, what's
I hope you are
happening?
not attempting to nail Spinner to the cross.
No,
No,
of course
she
not.
just said she's here to provide information.
Of course not.
Is it the Guardian?
Yes, it is the guy. Now, this is the story. Let's see if we can make sense of it here. Toxic braids, cancer. There you have it. So, millions of beauty seekers and their value chain practitioners risk life-altering ailments and fatality from repeated use of unregulated synthetic hair products, with researchers confirming the presence of volatile organic compounds that are endocrine disruptors and those that negatively impact women's reproductive health in synthetic braid and hair attachments. Okay, now it goes deeper. I expect that some of our women will need to read up on this, but now this is a big market that is thriving on people people's desires to look beautiful.
Look beautiful.
Yes, and isn't it interesting that we don't appreciate the Afro anymore? Now, do you know? Let me ask. Let me ask.
They do, but they do appreciate the Afro. But they now have a synthetic Afro.
I haven't
People
asked my question. Now, there is Manfred over there. Manfred and the men there. How many of you know the different names of wigs? Does anybody? Manfred said he doesn't know the name of any wig. Do you know the name of any wig extension?
Yes.
What's the name?
Brazilian. They call it Brazilian hair.
Brazilian hair. That's a general term.
Human hair.
Yes. Do you know?
I also know human hair.
Human hair. You see? What are the different names of hair?
Good. All right. Now the thing is this.
What are
Before
the different names of hair?
She's coming.
they have
No, I want her to go.
She's trying to lay premise.
Don't lay
hair
premise.
extension is hair extension. Okay.
We have Peruvian hair, Abby.
It's there. Imported from Peruvian. We have the one from
We have
Vietnam.
bone straight.
The bone straight actually is the silky one, dropping.
What's
The
this claim?
silky, the way
He
it is.
doesn't know. Now he's the one leading.
I'm in the media.
Moses
I'm in the
have
media. I know
Moses
some-
have a wife and sister.
I know something
so he's
about
supposed to
everything.
know.
I should.
Now,
But my point here is
the Afro one you're talking
many
about.
men don't have an idea what you're putting on your hair.
No.
All they know is that you
Bone
look
straight.
beautiful.
No, and beyond knowing that you look beautiful, they also know that they are the ones that funded the hair you are wearing. That's another angle.
But the point here is that some of these things, especially the ones you attach to your skin, all right, with the chemicals with which those things are
Bonds
attached.
and everything.
Yes,
Glues.
these things
That's the Weavon.
penetrate.
Is that not Weavon?
We have wigs. Those are not weave-on.
They're not weave-ons.
Wigs, weave-ons are the ones you have to use needle and thread to stick.
They
sew
weave them
to.
on.
After weaving
Those are
your hair
weave-on.
Then they will now, after
Weave
weaving
on.
the hair, they will now maybe doing a cornrow. They will now use needle and thread to sew those ones to your hair, to the already weaved hair. Then
But there's a
wigs
type
are
that
the
they-
ones you just wear. You can wear them and pull them out. But we have another one, evolution, the ones that you have to go for extension to add to it. Maybe you go for closure. Then you now.
I say it's an authority.
He is in the business.
He is
He
an
understands.
authority.
He understands what is happening in the business.
Now I know the fat salary Moses gets. Where he spends it on.
So we have the ones we use the glue
That's why I try to
for.
discourage it so I can save my money.
But it's not you discouraging it. Now, the funny thing there is this, when we're trying to laugh over that, apart from going for the expensive ones, the cheap ones now that people go to, they can easily get in the market, the synthetic ones, because we have the natural hairs. We have the ones that these ones are from people's hair.
Where does the natural hair
Come from? Okay, now we have those people in Asia that have a tradition that maybe it's a community. People cut ladies who have long hair to cut their hair maybe once in a year to show appreciation to their deities that they worship.
they cut their hair,
they cut the hair.
then we
drop
steal
them.
it and bring
No, they
it
don't
there.
steal it. They drop them there in the temple. Then the people might decide to trash or sell it out to hair vendors, and then they will take them in, process it, comb it out the way it should be, wrap it up
Add
in bundles,
chemical
right?
to it.
Not
They add some chemical to it.
preservative.
To preserve.
Then bring it down to us. If you touch those ones too, you know that these are the real human hairs. We call them 102%, they are 120 and all that. Then we have the synthetic, whereby someone can just go into maybe a factory
that can be
and
made
decide.
from wool and other things?
No, those ones are synthetic. The wools you're seeing, they are all synthetics. They are the ones that can be, they make them from maybe copolymers. There's the ones that have chemicals like lead, aluminium, aluminium sometime in others too, because these are the ones that when you wear them, for example, the attachment, the hair extension.
How expensive are some of these?
Okay, Fina, can I put you on the spot?
I'm listening,
Permit
I'm
me
here.
to put you on the spot.
Go ahead.
What you are wearing, is it your natural hair?
Now, I have my natural hair here. This is my natural hair. Okay.
But the ponytail?
Now the pony
is attached
actually
to some base
is
of the natural
detachable.
hair.
You understand?
Okay, it's detachable.
I can just easily pull it out on its
Okay,
own
okay.
and just keep. Reason is this: I have been able to understand health implications of going for the ones that I have on my hair for weeks. I
Also,
know.
there are health
I
implications.
know there are health implications. For
It's important that I
example,
asked you this question. okay?
yes, it's just this style is a ponytail. That's what the style is.
Why
That's
don't
why it's a
you-
ponytail.
why-
Now, if I'm
since
to
you
go,
know-
Another person that
Since
is
you
as
know-
well informed as Moses here is Dele. Dele called it
the
a
ponytail. Yes, it's a ponytail because of the style of the hair.
Are you putting me on the cross?
Now, but the
I
problem
seem
there
to be
is
the only
this.
ignorant one.
The thing
here.
there is this. A lot of us now we look at people, ladies who come out there. We have that have this maybe the 18 inches, 20 inches extension. You know,
Just give us a
so
figure.
now if we're looking at maybe a 9 inches or original one, we have to have maybe 100 gram of it, maybe 250,000. 300,000 just for 100 gram. And that
So
will
100
be
gram
enough.
is like what length?
It's
if
just
I'm gonna use-
a single bundle, one bundle of
So
it.
a bundle is like
for somebody
from
like you, how many of
my
that
finger
will
to
you require?
this point.
Now, it depends on the style I want to go for. For example, if I'm to do maybe a 30 inches long hair, 30 inches long hair, one bundle of it, original one, can cost me no less than 800,000 naira or 900,000 naira for one bundle. So we have to get
More than
like
a plot
two.
of land.
God bless you for this. So we have to get like
Well, a plot of land,
for you to now
yeah,
have a
village.
full hair, for you to have a full hair that you can move around
Like
with.
4 bundles.
You know, you need like 3 bundles and one maybe
Closure.
8
one
times 3,
closure.
that's 2.4.
So you need like 3
Like one
bundles.
closure.
That's
One
the
closure. So we have hairs they can get in the market, maybe already processed.
No,
for-
the longer
for like-
one. Sorry, please. The longer one that gets to the waist is about 800 for one bundle.
bundle.
And you
That's
need
what
like
she's saying.
4
You need
bundles.
about
like
like 3.
roughly
Like
3
yeah.
plus.
And that's
For you to
2.4.
come
So
up
that's
with
3
2.4.
plus 3 and a little extra to do what they call baby coils. Am I correct?
That is the baby coils you're talking about.
lost here.
Is what they will still cut. They'll cut it from the hair now for you to use. Now you know how the
But now
extension-
this is the most important thing here is the fact that we seem to lose. We seem to have been soaked into the idea that we always need to carry hair extensions, whether it is original, synthetic, or whatever. And there's a market for it. That's why you find, I know someone who has built an empire selling hair extensions. But we are not focusing. And NAFDAC, does it fall within the purview of
Yeah.
NAFDAC
And SON.
and SON?
SON.
Are not educating people enough on the implication of having these things stick to your skin. And we're not just talking hair now. Let's also talk cosmetics.
Nails.
everything,
cosmetics,
everything
creams
artificial
that people
everything
apply.
artificial. Everything
These things
artificially used
penetrate
also.
your pores, get into your bloodstream, so they can cause problems within people that use them. But we are not talking, and you know what is worse in the use of cosmetics is the fact that every Tom, Dick, and Harry, what's the female version of Tom, Dick, and Harry?
You were the one saying it. I know what
Every
you're talking about.
Every Jane.
every Jane, Aisha, and
Alice.
Boston,
Alice.
every Jane, Aisha, and Boston,
Oh my God.
you know, can decide to make something, make hair,
That's the problem.
make cream. They make something and they tell you, oh, this is whitening cream, and our women rush to it.
Toning cream.
They rush to these things. They take,
And in no time, they
take
develop
pills.
skin cancer.
Cancer.
They take pills.
Yeah.
Pills
They
that
go for
will deplete
injection
the
too.
melanin.
Yeah,
they go for injections to deplete the melanin, so they could be white, so they could look, you know, fairer
Fair.
than normal. I mean, you see those that are fair without black knuckles.
Knuckles
It's
and
because they've taken injections, and nobody
Am I
seems to
fair? Yeah, I
care.
think I'm light skinned. I didn't take any
Nobody-
injection to be this way.
No, you're normal.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't stop
okay,
it like
yeah.
it.
You're normal.
Okay.
So, but we're not focusing on the health implication
No,
of these things.
exactly that. I think
Especially
that's
our young
essentially-
people.
That's essentially why the Guardian did what it had to do. You know, it's out there in the front page.
But
of
should I
the
tell you the
Guardian.
scary part of
and
it?
people, I'm coming further. And people will get to, like we are discussing it now. And I just do hope that other media houses will also will talk about it. But my concern in all of this, Fina, you've traveled quite a lot. Is it a Nigerian thing or is it continent-wide?
Okay.
Women in Ghana, women in Kenya, women in South Africa, you know, in all parts of Africa. Because Africa seems to be the dumping ground for original fake hairs, like Dele said. So what do we export to women in the United States? The white women, what do they gain from us? What do
Okay.
we export to them?
Now the thing is, we have our own cultural, will I say, the norms. What we call norms here, maybe our mode of dressing and every other thing. We take it to them too. Now it is not just Africans that go for hair extension, that go for all these other things. Yes.
So it's not an African
No, it's
thing?
not an African thing. It's a world thing. It's a global thing.
Okay.
You know, reason is the more a woman, you know, I see that to be people who have you know, complex issue. I want to be like this person. I don't think I love myself enough to be like me. I want to, you know, enhance it. We call it beauty enhancement. That's what the general term is now. Everybody wants to be there. The African woman or lady is angry that her hair is so strong, you know, and then the Western ladies are upset that their hair is not strong enough to be like Africans, or they go on to do all this. Yeah, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So they look for a way. We look for a way to sleek, like
To look like them.
Then they are looking for a
To
way to look
relax,
like us.
we relax the hair.
We
and
relax
make it
our
look-
hair. We do everything so that it can be like that of the white woman, to grow long and be silky.
Because when
like
you
theirs.
carry an afro, you're seen as a Negro.
But now
Yes,
it's funny to know that them now they now go for our own
Negro is
cornrow.
derogatory, by the way.
The whites now braid
The other
cornrows.
language is the NIG. I don't want to say that one, but Negro is a normal term.
Now the people in the okay, let's say the Western world, so they go for our own braids now. They can easily do our braid and everything, and it's making it more expensive. For example, for you to braid a hair somewhere in UK, and I have like 300 pounds or 500 pounds for ordinary cornrow, because every other person wants to be the way we are.
No, when you say every
we're
other
not.
person, do you mean the white fellow?
Yes, even the white fellows too.
They do Ghana braids?
Yes, they do. They do our braids. They do our all back. They do our Ghana braids. They do.
Now that reminds me, Ghana braid used to, what happened to Africa? Ghana braid looks very fantastic.
That is the problem. Now, let me
And you
tell
know
you
they have
this.
the bold and the tiny. With
Chukuma,
all
the
sense
problem-
of modesty. If you see my wife on Ghana braids, I mean, she's very
Chukuma, the
delectable.
thing-
But the moment this weave on of a thing and
We've
at times
on,
I don't even
we've
see.
on wigs and other things have taken over. In fact, wigs don't even exist anymore.
Wigs are still there. It's wigs that
No,
people
wigs.
are wearing
What
now.
people do now is
It's
they
wigs.
have made a form of wigs that look like Ghana braids, tiny braids.
They
have
are
So
those
you
wigs.
don't have to go to the salon,
To
you
sit
know,
down.
to sit down and to weave your natural hair.
Some-
What you just need to do is buy the Ghana braid
Wig and
and
wear.
put it on. There you go.
But the thing these people are
it's
talking
it's an
about.
identity crisis issue. We want to, blacks in general, want to look Western. They feel the longer your hair is, you know,
No,
the more
that is
silky.
my question.
The more silky.
The Westerner, the white
You don't have a
woman,
lot of them trying. You don't have a lot of them,
of them trying to.
doing.
You
know,
recall
trying to
way
do-
back in time where Michael Jackson needed to put up his nose to look like a white
White and all
fellow
that.
and all of that. Even had to tone his skin to look white and all of that.
Well, we learned later that what he did to his skin was not because he wanted to look white. It was because he had a vitiligo. You know, he had patches.
Patches in his,
You know, so he had
he had
to
patches in his nose.
All this-
vitiligo on his skin.
On his nose.
It can be
His
everywhere.
skin.
It can
No,
be on
on
the
his
face.
nose
It
because
can
the
be
thing
everywhere.
that time was that he wanted his nose to be pointed.
No, well,
You know, it
I'm
wasn't
not-
with Michael Jackson alone. If
lots
you
of
read
other-
if you read Malcolm X, you know, in the late 50s and 60s, the average black person wanted to look like a white man.
Yes,
You know, so,
so
that
they-
is how
they-
they started paving, men started paving their hair
Yes.
and all
Coils
of that.
and
And you
the
recall all those the Commodores. You recall the Commodores?
exactly.
The Commodores, like one of them was
Richie.
Lionel Richie, and all. They paved their hair, wanted to look like
like
white
white.
men and all of that.
So it's an identity crisis.
It's an
issue.
identity crisis.
But you know
And
the,
it's
You
even
see,
worse now.
the import of all this that we're talking about is the health implication.
The health implication,
Exactly.
exactly.
The
Let's not lose sight of that.
economic drain.
No, forget about the economy.
No,
Money
the economic drain.
No,
I'll tell you,
no,
I
everybody
forget
must
about
look.
it.
No, you don't,
You
because
don't
the money
forget.
is in the system. Money makes the world go round.
Let me tell
importing
you,
it. We're
I'll
importing
tell
all
you
of these things.
the economic
we
implication.
produce it here also.
There
We
is so
produce. Some
much
people produce
pressure.
them
The
too.
fake ones.
Let me tell you,
It-
today
there's no
in
original.
Nigeria, there is so much pressure on men, such that if you don't know how to halt the drift,
Then you go and learn now.
you
Then what
You learn.
happens to,
Yes.
apart from learning,
You
what
learn.
happens to staying in your lane? Or what happens to being in that particular place? Carve your niche and stay there. Must you be with the people
our
that
libido
want to?
prowess will not make us stay. in
You're
our
the
lane.
one inviting your
Okay.
problem yourself, so enjoy it. But you know,
But then, why don't you reduce the tension?
why should it? When
by-
you people are the
No,
ones
it is
setting
you
the
that
table.
can-
Ordinary attachments now to braid, they are the ones now causing this havoc. More of this havoc
it's
to
normal.
us.
It's
Eh,
not
most
It's
of
all the
it's
same
okay.
thing because the more
Are
you
they
wear
telling
them,
us-
I have them out for
are they
like 7
telling us
days.
that, there is likely to be brain tumor for those who wear this.
No, what they're saying is that with the chemicals that these things push into your skin, they affect some hormones that make it difficult for our women to produce. So they cause fertility issues, and they could cause cancer as well, skin cancer and some other forms of cancer. In as much as that report, I would want to take some of it with a pinch of salt, because in as much as you say they cause fertility issues, we know how virile our men are, and the women are, they just produce children. We have 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 18-year-olds having children and the rest. But these things still have, health implications that we should, and also economic implication. Let me read this report, if this will give us some sort of idea. It says the hair extension and cosmetics market is a multi-billion-dollar global industry. Now, global market size estimated at $7.5 billion in 2023, and it's projected to hit $13 billion plus by 2030. The key players are China, main supplier, and then India, the US, and Brazil. Consumer demographic, African and African American women are dominant consumers due to cultural relevance. And then the position of Nigeria in all of this. Nigeria is Africa's largest market for beauty and personal care products. Is it because of our population?
Maybe.
Estimated size over $2 billion in 2022 and growing. Okay. Oh well, I think we've dwelt on that.
Yeah, done justice to that.
Yes, but it's the bottom line is our women should be more health conscious than beauty conscious.
What about men that wear extension too? Because they don't want to
should
know
also
about.
They should also be health conscious.
Before we wrap up on this, I'm just hearing for the first time that men also use hair.
Oh, men do.
Yeah, we do. They do.
Men that are bald-headed.
You don't
We have some Nigerian celebrities also go about them.
Around
You don't
here.
see, yeah.
Around. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they come around here.
Maybe you
At the bar side, at
identify
the pool
one
bar.
or two.
You see men
No,
with
at the
hair
pool bar,
extensions.
yeah, you see men with
If you
hair.
see
Even
one,
the people
maybe-
that they braid their hair. Why will you say men braid their hair with extension?
braiding is
has
not,
become a normal thing. Braiding is a normal thing.
With extension too, not the
Braiding is a
dreadlocks part of
normal
it
thing.
now at this
Braiding
point
is a
in
normal
time.
thing.
We have
I'm
men
talking
too
about
that wear wigs.
like one who doesn't have hair.
Yeah.
You would see hair on their head, and then at some point, maybe after a week or two, they
They'll change
remove
it.
it. And to do that, they stick some sort of glue on your scalp. Put closure to it, put some sort of synthetic hair, and they barb it so it looks like
It's your hair.
your hair.
To what end?
Moses, do you,
To have
do, you,
hair.
do, you, do you run a hair salon?
Maybe.
No.
You seem to know so much about this hair business. Are you into this hair business?
I'm a media personality.
So you're
I'm a
supposed to know a
broadcaster.
little of
And I know-
everything.
So it's less.
I'm a broadcaster.
I'm a-
No, you're more of a political interested individual. So I just I try to
because
read
you
up
seem
on
to
all
know
these
so
things.
much about hair and the name.
But it's an authority.
Yes.
I'm not an author. Well, let's talk about WAEC now.
Yes,
That's
yes,
another
I was coming
conversation.
to that, yes.
Glitched grades, WAEC in crisis over result errors. That's on the cover page of the Punch newspaper. It says candidates urged to recheck new results after 48 hours. Students protest. Parents slam CBT plans. Now, WAEC said there was an error in the results that they put out. That said that the records were worse than what we've had in the past 10 years, and a lot of it is being blamed on the computer that juggled the answers. Now, in a bid to prevent malpractice, they did some juggling of the answers after the exam had been written, and that altered the original results that should have the way the machine would have marked the results. And so we had what we had.
So now they said that people should recheck their results. Have they come up with any statistics about the failure rate, the pass rate, and all?
No, they
that?
haven't.
They haven't.
Okay, they haven't. So let's just see
But we
what
don't-
happens
we don't
when
have
they
that
come
yet.
out with it. I say that in the light of the fact that when I was in the university, there was this particular course that we wrote. Difficult in some sense because it involved calculations and all of that. And when the result came out, more than half of the class failed. So people protested here and there and all of that. And they said that, the exam officer said, liaised with the lecturer and discovered that there was an error, you know, in the computation of the results and all of that. You know what happened? When they did fresh competition,
Mass failure.
more people failed. More people failed than the previous people. And people were like, why didn't you let this thing be? Now you have caused more problem for others.
And I think that's what's likely to happen. I think WAEC seems to feel they are under pressure to prove something, to prove that they can conduct exams without malpractice. They're under pressure to do so. We saw what happened during the last examination as well. I mean, the previous one, you know, was it JAM?
Yeah.
Results were released, and then we had issues with the results. They went back and said, okay, go and rewrite. Now, my question is, will students be asked to rewrite this exam again? Well, we went to see. But let's put out some more data. Let's put out this data now. WASC 10-year trend. We have the years here and the success and failure rates. I think you just might, okay, I'll leave you to that one. From 2016, it was 47.3 failure rate percentage, and then 2025, 61.68 percentage in failure rates. Now let's look at some of the key issues that was stated right there. It says 2025 WASC candidates 1,969,313. Success rate 38.20%. The 7 key issues: serialization of objective test papers. All right, Chukwuma, I hope you're listening.
Yes, I am.
Frequent power outages, delays in exam start times, students arriving as early as 6 a.m., inadequate exam oversight, poor exam conditions, e.g. flooded venues, students over-reliance on digital tools. Now, these are the key issues that have been attributed to possible cause of the failure. Now, most of this is basically the issue of WAEC.
Yes, within the
students.
purview of WAEC,
Yes.
not that of the students. You know.
My happiness that I asked this question that day that they brought out the statistics. On this table I asked, I hope WAEC were able to look into all the key indices or factors that students raise to be the reason why they actually write their exams. Some of them wrote the exams in environment that's not that conducive, that led to them not doing well. And then I was told that no, don't worry, that will not be an issue. They're going to look into that. Maybe they must have looked into it before bringing out the mass failure, or rather the percentage of the persons that failed and the people that are also passed and all that. We are having serious issues. Are we ready to digitalize our examinations and the education sector? Are we ready for that without having glitches?
The day we talked about that, and it was, I think we were very particular about English language as a subject. Then my position on that day was that, okay, because you wrote English with candlelight at night, the English you knew in the morning flew away from your head.
What happened to exam tension?
I'm just
exam tension. You and I, I'm happy you're a scholar. You understand that once you enter the exam to write exam, now you're prepared, you're ready for this. And the vigilators step in and say, all of you stand up, sit down, you'll be destabilized. It will take you time for you to come back together and say, okay, fine, I'm ready for this. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That alone can make you forget what you know. Tension is tension. It happens. Especially for people who actually, especially for someone like me.
Okay, so those of them that passed the exam didn't go through tension.
You
the writing at night didn't happen everywhere. It was in some
So in those areas that the problem, was there mass failure? Everybody that wrote the exam with candlelight that evening, did they fail?
Individual differences. They didn't tell us.
Oh,
But
so
individual differences.
so these things are neither here or there. Why should take some form of responsibility for what happened? But students should also, because my question hasn't actually been answered. The English you knew in the morning flew away in the evening because you were writing with candlelight.
I think the question has been answered because when you are tensed, like she said, there's a possibility not to concentrate on what you're reading. So you might get foggy in your brain, and then you give wrong answers, especially in the objective. And we know we're talking about computer-based here. Computer-based here. So if you're not careful, if you're not concentrating enough to know what you're clicking on, if you're tense, you may click on the wrong thing, thinking your head is telling you one thing, but your hand is doing a different thing. I'm making excuses, but
I'm happy you're making excuses because they always say that a bag of man quarrels with his tools.
Okay, well, let's quickly run to some other headlines from the Guardian newspaper. 2027, 151 new parties indicate interest. Submit forms, says INEC. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on this one?
My worry is, if you have 127 on the ballot.
151.
151 now.
Okay, now 151.
151, yes.
Plus, okay,
18.
plus
the
18.
existing 18.
Is it 18 or
19
19?
plus
19.
19, yeah.
19.
So that makes it 157. Let's imagine the ballot paper.
Could be as long as this table.
And by
No,
the
but
time,
before you go ahead, just know that the 151 of them would
We not
be
all
registered.
get, yes.
no, let's also assume, because there is no law that bars any of them from being registered. If they fulfill all the conditions.
But you know that all of
As
them
far as
will not fulfill
conditions,
the conditions.
I
Let's take
said-
100.
Okay, let's even
Up the
assume
cuff, let's 100.
50.
Okay, 50.
Now, the problem of choice. Because from A to Z, you start looking for Z Labour Party at the bottom. Because we are lettered. That's why you know that Z is the last letter. But some other people look for symbols. Now you have to
And
go.
those symbols might be very tiny.
That's what I'm saying. So that's another way that could hamper the process of electioneering. Two, how honestly, it's a funny thing that we are having here.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the only way to stem this is to have independent candidacy.
Okay. Sorry, please. Because of time, let's touch on Nigerian Tribune as well. Flooding, just two headlines, and then we'll just react to maybe a few of them. Flooding: Lagos, Ogun, Delta, Kogi, 11 others at high risk. 198 local government areas may be flooded, and this is of particular interest to me. Federal government to disburse 300,000 naira to 21 farmers. Disburses 493 billion naira to 5 million households. Tinubu lifts ban on NSIPA's frozen accounts. That's NSIPA's frozen accounts. That's from the Nigerian Tribune. Chukwuma,
Okay, so
you want to react to that headline? Should I take it again?
take it again.
Okay, so the headline is Federal Government to disburse 300,000 naira to 21,000 farmers. Disburses 493 billion naira to 5 million households. Tinubu lifts ban on NSIPA's frozen accounts. That's NSIPA's frozen accounts.
Okay,
Your
now
thoughts?
they are releasing 300,000 to farmers.
21,000 farmers.
21,000 farmers. Okay.
The ones they released in the past.
No, it's not about the ones they released in the past. Is it the farmers that farm in the, there's
IDPs now.
No, there's this new method of farming where you
Yes.
can use
Sack.
rock back. What do they call it? This
Greenhouse farming kind of thing.
That you can farm
indoor
in your
farming.
corridors
Yes.
and all of that. Are they the people?
Or the ones that
receiving
go to
it?
the farmlands.
Or the ones that go to the farmlands that have been chased away by terrorists and bandits, or the few people that were returned by Torij Bello? They have made peace between Torij and some of the communities. That okay, now henceforth you can go back to your farm.
So these monies will be given to them.
So
Well, I think it was also in this studio we discussed some of these monies that go to farmers. Or it was even a report that farmers invest these monies in FX. They take the monies, they don't invest the monies in the farming
that's
itself.
because they don't go to farm. They
And
don't go
government
to
is still giving monies to
Government
farmers.
is still giving money because government is giving money because it's 2027.
Why will government be? Why
About
will
how many
government
million
be
households did
investing
they
in
give out money again? So it's
They are given to,
Okay,
let's be
so
very specific,
493 billion naira to
400
5 million.
5 million households.
Yeah.
5
And
million
it's a household, not part of the
No,
households
no,
in
we are
Nigeria.
talking
They
about
say it's for the poorest of the poor.
It not belongs to the upper
the
middle class.
indigents.
It not belongs to the upper
For the
middle
poorest
class.
of the poor.
Did you? Yeah, people. Did
Did
get the money
anybody around you,
that
in your
get the
business
money
to
from
get
the federal government? 5 million households.
Do you have not heard of
493 billion is what we're looking at.
In your
in
community.
my community?
Okay,
nobody
so
has-
your community also they belong to the upper middle class, so they are not poorest of the poor. Everyone in your
But we are
community.
not on Bandi.
Okay, you are not. Okay, you are not.
There's also another report that says about Nigerians live below 3,100 naira a day in meals.
Okay, it's been upgraded now.
Before it was
From-
below that.
Before it was less than that.
It was less than that. So
And
it's been
before it
upgraded.
was less than that.
So
When
things are-
what's his
so we are
name?
doing better.
What's his name again? Presidential spokesperson. Talk with somebody that said you could buy
Fashua.
You know, that you could buy a
With
decent
1.5.
meal with 1.5 somewhere in the
500.
Lekki area of Lagos.
Exactly.
You know, so there's been an upgrade. If it is 3,000, that means the economy is making improvement.
You know, today Patutom was talking about how much Nigerians need for people to be taken care of, talking about people who have been diagnosed with malaria, saying that I think one person...
Nine people
Nine-
die
oh, yes,
every
nine.
hour.
So $10 to one person. Okay. Imagine how it is at this point in time when Nigerians now cannot 9%, 1%, 9%, 1% will die in every in
No,
1 hour.
9 people die in every hour.
So
Every
90
hour.
in 10 hours.
That's 90.
90.
$10 is what is needed
Oh
to treat
my
one
God.
person.
One person.
Oh my
Of-
God.
No.
for-
Sorry, let's
for
get it
malaria.
right. Let's get it right. These people don't die because of hunger or what, but because
Malaria.
of lack of malaria
Malaria.
treatment.
Yes.
Malaria,
Which is
And
$10.
Which is $10.
To get.
Have we
Threshold.
not witnessed it here?
Okay.
Somebody died.
He didn't die.
Okay.
But if not for intervention,
The person who
would have died.
Have
Because-
dead die. According to Zebediah, the person could have dead die.
Because this particular person
Did
had
not have.
malaria, and the first money that was provided, she went to cut corners, going
But
to this
mixed up.
chemist
No, mix for me.
that would just give. And when I asked that person,
What did you
because
take?
there was no telltale sign that she's recovering.
Getting better.
So, and I said, let me see. And I discovered that it was analgesic in different brands.
Oh my God.
The chemist that did that is even very unprofessional.
But that's the way
But
they
they're
are.
there. They're there.
And that's the way they kill. So if that person consistently used that line of drug over a period of time, the tendency for the
The health will be
kidney
deteriorating.
to deteriorate
Yeah.
will be there. And yet the malaria problem is not solved. So I had to tell her to buy a certain drug. And the following morning, when she showed up, she was better. So now imagine the number of people that would have gone through that route, where in the villages you don't even have nurses, not to talk of doctors. And these chemists
You don't even
are
have
there,
labs to get tested.
And these are people that would be this first line of contact with you. And gradually, these are the reality of the 9 deaths in 1 hour that Prof is talking about.
And yet we're disbursing 490-something billion naira to 5 million households, and they
I don't know
cannot-
why you are even bothered about this 5
I am
million
so
households.
bothered because I believe that the person that
were you
went
not
to-
here in this country when somebody said he fed over 3,000 students during COVID-19?
And yet she is here to tell us how much each person actually can
And
gain from
the
that.
person is enjoying a loot.
Interesting.
Eh.
Nigeria is a great nation, right? True of us. Nigeria is a great nation.
Nigeria is a blessed nation, yet to be a great nation.
Oh, okay. A blessed yet to be a great nation. But yet they are the giant of Africa.
No, they used to. They used to be. Not anymore.
We are giants, actually. We are giants in our own right. We are giants in population.
You are a sleeping giant.
We are giants in
You're a
population.
sleeping-
After all, we are
sleeping
still
giant.
giants. Even
We're still
sleeping
giants.
on
We're still
awake.
giants.
We are still a giant. After all, the tigress, after all, falcons.
I would give them
We are the sports
$100,000,
giant, but we are not the economic
$100,000,
giant.
$50,000.
Yes.
You
We
know,
are
the giant.
we are a rich country of poor people.
It's,
That's a
that
good-
particular
that's
one
a good
hits.
way to-
It hits
to-
different.
To put it,
Yeah.
a rich country of poor
Poor
people.
people.
And we have rich resources, and other
But
countries are going into.
we don't have to generalize. Somebody like Chukwuma cannot claim to be poor.
Right?
No, he's not. He's only
He's
only
not.
telling us that this.
What
is
people-
It's only
what you
empathetic
people
to
are, what you
our
people-
suffering.
Well, that's it on the show. Thank you very much for staying with us. Friday edition. You can say that's what it is. A newspaper review. Big thanks to Daily Fanimo for staying back. I guess, gentlemen, you will introduce yourself this time around. I am Moses Humphrey.
And I'm Fina. Okay, Chukwu, enjoy the rest of your weekend and endeavor to be a patriotic citizen.
I am Chukwuma Okoro. I'll come back here at 6 o'clock. I'm going to host Princess Abiodun Ismalaya Adetola Oyefusi. She's a politician, humanitarian, and women advocate. And we'll be discussing Lagos politics. After the show, thank God today is Friday, I'll tell you where the party is at.
But
All
up
right.
next on our schedule and our radar right now, that's on top of the hour at 11, is the Sports Republic with Kizzy K.
All right, that's it. See you on Monday. Bye for now.